It's another day on Ring of the Hawk. The Shove It zone seems to be growing every week. Just like when I see a bird in leggings, so does my beak. I do need to apologise to Mr. Chris Savage today. He requested this one a while ago on Patreon, but I guess somebody smacked me one because I managed to miss it. I also want to thank Grassroots Film Production NS, Adam L. Bogdadi, Tool Tag Team Champs, Who Cares, Michael Zumpetti, Jim Al, Cracker and Smoothie, Edward White, Jesus, how many people asked for this video? Alex Young, Raven Filth, Chai Hollywood, Russ Morgan. Yes, this dude asked about 5 times. Shucks Bez? What does that name even mean? All in the YouTube comments section, who also wanted this one. But Chris Savage paid on Patreon, so he's better than all of you, so shove it. And to save the people in the comments from saying it, I do hear you. The 8-year-old obese Indian boy, Pentagon Jr. and Zach Gowen, they're all going to have their own shot on Ring of the Hawk. Some people have said that Brock Lesnar in New Japan was going to be a tough one with copyright. They were right. Oh well, I'll have to keep trying to find ways around it. And on the subject of the obese boy, I have something pretty exciting coming up for fans of me making your girl sing. There's still more to come for Ring Ka King. I don't often pester you guys to subscribe, so I'm just going to warn you once a month. From now on, you better subscribe or I hit you with a brick. And of course, if you know a wrestler that can do the J-O-B to the H-A-W-K any night, any day, ha ha! Shove their name in the comments, Jack! Alright, let's do it. Diamond Dallas Page, was he good in TNA like Christian Cage, or was he boring and bland just like Beige? So at this point, he hasn't wrestled regularly for 2.5 years. 4 indie matches since that final one on SmackDown against Hardcore Holly. So this has the potential to be a complete car crash. He's got to be rusty. Match 1, TNA Turning Point 2004. Raven, who looks like he's wearing a piece of trash, versus Diamond Dallas Page. Wait, isn't this his WCW theme? I'm so confused.
It's me. It's DDP.
So, WCW ripped off Nirvana, and TNA ripped off WCW. He's bringing some massive energy, the crowd are going nuts. Basically, this match is happening because Raven is jealous of DDP's success in WCW. Well, now they're both here, so who's really the winner? DDP starts out by boxing Raven time and time again. Raven tries to fight back, but DDP clotheslines him down. Page is kicking Raven, and then there's a ref bump. Page randomly boots the referee down. They start fighting outside the ring, and then Page hits a Russian leg sweep into the guardrail. They then head off into the crowd. DDP starts hitting the piece of trash with his own house. They get back in the ring and DDP pulls Raven into the ring pole, nutsack first. Page tries to hit the diamond cutter, but Raven throws him off, and he covers him with his feet on the ropes, but he only gets a 2. Raven then pulls out a helmet from medieval times and smashes Page with it. He's so happy to have his little hat. Page almost scores a sneaky pin, but Raven is able to kick out. Raven beats Page down in the corner and he sets up a chair. He then tries his signature drop toe hold into the chair, but Page kicks out. DDP suddenly gets mad and starts boxing Raven again, but he didn't hawk up. Page scores a big boot and then he tries a backslide, but Raven hits him in the nutsack. Page almost scores another roll up, but Raven hits the clothesline into a bulldog for another 2 count. DDP scores his own 2 count from a belly to belly. It's really back and forth as Raven hits a super kick and DDP kicks out. Page finally hits the diamond cutter, but Raven is able to kick out of that. This match is a lot better than expected, to be fair, considering it's his first match back in a while. Suddenly 2 druids come out. Raven hits Page in the nutsack and then he hits the Raven effect DDT, but Page kicks out. Eric Watts, a man that not many people care about, takes the druids out. Watts then clotheslines DDP and he hits Page with the Watts up. No, I'm kidding, he didn't do that, but that would have been a good move for him. Page then hits him with the diamond cutter, but Raven has now woken up. He goes for his DDT, but Page reverses it. Diamond cutter for the 3. DDP goes off to celebrate with his fans. It was a pretty even matchup. Nothing amazing, but nothing bad. Middle of the road, it's a C. Match 2, TNA Final Resolution 2005. Triple threat for the #1 contendership for the NWA World Heavyweight title. It's 2 has-beens and unfortunately and never will be. It's the alpha male Monty Brown versus Kevin Nash versus our guy DDP. Nash and DDP have a mutual agreement to leave each other alone in this match, so it's essentially a handicap match for Monty Brown. Monty fights off a diamond cutter, and DDP doesn't do very well, so he asks Kevin Nash to stop relaxing and have a go on his own. And Nash seems to do a bit better than Page, so he takes his turn relaxing for a long time in the corner. DDP finally does do something and he knocks Brown down with a clothesline and it gets a 2 count. Monty fights back for DDT, but Nash breaks the pin up. Nash and Page take turns battering Monty in the corner. Suddenly, DDP throws Nash over the top rope and JB screams that Nash has been eliminated. The crowd are confused and they're chanting "Fire Russo." I literally never heard them say that this was a rule of the match. Why was it a rule of the match? So we're down to just the 2 of them in a one-on-one match. Page hits a diamond cutter on Monty and then he makes the cover, but Nash ruins it. Monty scores a small package, but Page kicks out of that. DDP then scores a big clothesline for another 2. Monty then punches Page a couple of times and he gets a 2 count of his own. This match is not very good, unfortunately. Monty Brown hits a nice fall-away slam on DDP and he continues the power game with a power slam for a 2 count. Page fights back with his 50th clothesline of the match. DDP then tries to hit the diamond cutter, but Brown keeps running and he hits the pounce for the 3. No title shot for DDP tonight. And for those of you who are wondering, no, Monty Brown did not beat Slapnuts later in the night for the world title. A slow, confusing match. It's a D. Oh yeah, Page and Monty Brown make friends after the match. That will be relevant, trust me, Shove It Squad. Backstage, DDP, Nash and Hall have friction, but it's not as cool as you might hope. It's not even funny for that matter. I guess the only funny thing is that Hall looks like he's been fighting in an alleyway the night before. Match 3, Impact main event, The Naturals. Ugh. No. It's only match 3, I've got this, I can hang in there. Versus the team of the alpha male Monty Brown and our guy DDP. The Naturals jump them at the bell, but they don't have the advantage for long because Page does what? Clotheslines one of the Naturals. Brown and DDP work well together to throw one of the Naturals out of the ring. DDP eventually gets caught out as the brown hair Natural kicks him, but then Page kicks out at 2. DDP grabs his knickers whilst he's complaining to the referee and he rolls him up, but he only gets a 2. DDP is literally getting battered in the corner by these 2 scrubs. DDP tries to fight back and make the tag, but he just sort of falls down. Page almost gets pinned again as he's exhausted in the middle of the ring. The blonde-haired Natural keeps messing around and DDP almost recovers, but he gets punted in the face for his troubles. The brown-haired Natural whacks Page in the nutsack. It's really not going well for him. Then there's a botch. This match is like getting teeth pulled out without anaesthetic. Page has literally been isolated for 5 minutes. They then repeat the spot that they messed up as Page suplexes one of the Naturals into the other. Monty Brown gets the tag, thank God. He hits the pounce with 20 seconds and then DDP hits the diamond cutter and it's over. I liked it when Monty Brown was in the ring, smashing these grease balls, but it was for 20 seconds. The match was botchy and slow and made me feel sick. It's an F. Match 4, Chris Candido versus DDP. Page tries to hit the diamond cutter, but Candido slides away from him. Candido then rolls him up and gets a 2 count. Page then hits a big boot and tries a backslide, but Double C punts him in the nutsack. Candido then floors him with a DDT, but he doesn't make the cover. Chris Candido then hits a pretty impressive vertical suplex. It looks quite cool with the size difference between the 2 guys. He then climbs to the top rope, but Page cuts him off at the top. Page then hits a top rope diamond cutter, and it's over. 2 minutes. Might have been good if it had been given longer. It's a D. After the match, Scott D'Amore and Robert Roode come out threatening Page, so Diamond tells him to shut the hell up, fat boy. The rest of Team Canada come out, but then Monty Brown runs out to make the save for Diamond. Match 5, against all odds, Eric Young and Bobby Roode, accompanied by Scott D'Amore and Johnny Devine, versus the alpha male Monty Brown and DDP. I have to say this entrance is pretty awesome. The match starts out pretty differently to the last one, with Monty Brown starting the match and absolutely destroying Eric Young. Why not just let this guy wrestle all the matches and win them for you, hey Page? Monty and Page work well together. I'm surprised Eric still has his arms attached at this point. He's useless, so B. Roode gets in, but Page also has the better of him. DDP takes Roode down with a huge clothesline and the crowd are really enjoying this matchup. Monty and Page work well together again as Page hits a neck breaker for a 2 count. The Canadians finally get the advantage by cheating. Page almost fights them off, but Roode manages to stop him. Diamond Dallas Page hits a jawbreaker on Roode, and then his head collides with B. Roode's nutsack. Page makes the tag into Monty Brown, who absolutely destroys Team Canada. Roode hits Brown with the Canadian flag whilst the referee is distracted. Eventually, Monty just throws Eric Young aside and tags Page back in. Page has boots for everyone and he eventually takes out Johnny Devine, who isn't even in this match. He's not meant to be in this one, get him out! The match then breaks down. Page and Brown do the do-si-do spot, that always makes me laugh. DDP slams 2 of the Canadian heads together as they clear the ring. Monty hits the pounce on B-Rude, and Page then wins the match with a diamond cutter from the top on Eric Young. Really nice match, it's a B, best so far. So just an update on the video so far. We've covered about half the matches, so we're nearly there. I'm doing a good job hanging in there, to be fair. I'm quite optimistic after that last match, but I didn't know what I had to come. At least DDP gets on the DVD cover for the next match, Destination X 2005. DDP is definitely the perfect wrestler to show on an X Division themed pay-per-view. I'm being sarcastic if you can't tell, shut up or I'll smack you one. So anyway, when I looked into this next match, I started to feel physically sick. I smoked a cigarette, I did some tricep push-ups, I punched myself in the gut, but nothing was helping me settle down. It's over 20 minutes. I really don't want to do this. Match 6, TNA Destination X 2005. NWA World Heavyweight Title. Ringside Revenge Match. DDP the challenger versus the champion Slapnuts. Look, I really don't hate Jeff as a wrestler. Some of the better TNA matches are involving him. It's just I don't buy him as a main eventer. Most of his matches are overbooked and his push at the top of the card was as bad as I can remember. It might have even been worse than Triple H's Reign of Terror. There's a reason why 2007 is my favourite year at TNA. He was barely there. Speaking of which, at the time of this match, he had the belt for 9 months and this is the longest reigning champion in TNA. The wrestlers around the ring are not supposed to be lumberjacks, they're supposed to be here to make sure that no one runs in and ruins the match. I doubt that'll play out as planned. To be fair, DDP looks like a boiled crab at this time in his career. Jarrett gets in an argument with an obese girl in the crowd. She looks like she soils on nappy. Jarrett literally hides on the outside for the first 5 minutes. Jarrett finally gets in the ring and both men try to hit their finishers and then Jarrett runs to the outside again. Page can't take it anymore, a bit like me, and he fights him on the outside. They finally get in the ring and Page scores a couple of knockdowns. Jarrett gets floored by another clothesline and then Page sends him to the outside. Page then decides to launch him into the commentary desk. Jarrett isn't doing too well here as Page clotheslines Jarrett over the ring barrier. Because it's TNA, Page uses a trash can because, I don't know, they always just say, oh it's fine, give them some leeway. It makes stipulations pointless. They eventually do a lap of the arena and DDP throws Jarrett into the Spanish broadcast table. Page then brings an office chair into the ring. He hits an atomic drop on Jarrett and he falls into the chair. He then starts punching Jarrett as he spins around in the chair. I have to admit, that's pretty funny. Page then boots him in the chair, but he only gets a 2 count. Page tries the 10 punch in the corner, but Jarrett finally stops him with a punch to the nutsack. Jarrett starts using the chair as a weapon, crushing Page's knee with it. And now Jarrett's in firm control as he starts working on Page's leg. Jarrett tries the figure 4, but Page reverses it and rolls him up for a 2. Jarrett then tries it again, and Page does a small package for another 2. Jarrett doesn't give up, and then he does finally get him in a proper figure 4 leg lock, but DDP makes the ropes. Both men then trade pinfalls. I don't know how these two guys are going to keep this pace up. Page eventually hits a move as he does that thing a bit like Billy Gunn used as a finisher in 2001. DDP then hits a big boot and then he slams Jarrett's head into the turnbuckle 10 times. Page then randomly hits a rock bottom, but Jarrett kicks out. DDP then hits a spinning sit-out powerbomb, but Jarrett kicks out again. Where's he suddenly getting all these moves from? He's kept them hidden the whole time so far. Before this, all we saw was clotheslines and diamond cutters. The bad wrestlers on the outside interfere, and then Jarrett hits the stroke, but DDP kicks out. All the guys on the outside then start fighting. Road Dogg then appears in the ring and he gives Jarrett his guitar, but then he turns on him and gets him in the nutsack. Road Dogg tries to hit Jarrett with the guitar, but the dog hits his friend Conan instead. Jarrett looks a bit lost now without his guitar. Then there's a ref bump. Jarrett is caught on the top and DDP's looking for the cutter. Billy Gunn then runs in and hits the Faymaster, but DDP kicks out of the following pinfall. Then Pac runs out and he takes Billy Gunn out of his little kicks. The ring is finally cleared. Wait, no it's not. There's some sort of lawyer here. Now there's one of the naturals. Oh god, this is a mess. Page finally hits the diamond cutter from the top. Then the lawyer gets in the ring and Monty Brown says he's going to get him, but Monty turns on his partner instead and hits DDP with the pounce. And it's over. Jarrett is still the champion. The whole gimmick of this match is supposed to be that no one can interfere and there'll be no shenanigans, but this match was full of it. I'm pretty sure this match set the record for the most number of run-ins. And here's the hug that destroyed Monty Brown's TNA career. Before this, he was on the cusp of being a world champion, but instead he's going to be a Jarrett lackey. Now that match was exhausting. We've got to try and grade DDP for this match, which I admit sometimes I struggle to separate the two between the match itself and DDP's performance. I thought he did really well, to be fair. He went 20 minutes at his age with his ring rust. He busted out some new moves and the crowd were obsessed with everything he did. It's not his fault the match was overbooked and stupid, and it's also not his fault that TNA was on Jeff Jarrett's nutsack. Ring of the Hawk is all about the individual wrestler, and Page did not put a foot wrong and the crowd were desperate to see him win. Page gets a B. The match itself is like a B until the last 5 minutes, which is an F. Let's move on because that ain't all. Match 7, Lex Lovett and Buck 8th Main, two men who look like they've just fallen out of a car crash, versus DDP and Six Pack with Kevin Nash. There's not much to say from a DDP standpoint, but Pac is pretty damn good in this one. Surprisingly, the car crash crew are pretty competitive and they beat up Pac for about 8 minutes. Pac eventually gives them both the Bronco Buster and Page then hits the Diamond Cutter on the one with the hair. It wasn't Lex and I sure didn't love it, but it's not that bad, he's not gonna shove it. DDP did nothing and he gets a D. Match 8, main event, Billy Gunn and Monty Brown versus DDP and Pac. Page almost gets Billy Gunn with the Diamond Cutter and he reminds him just how close it was. Brown then whacks Page onto the outside and Gunn hits the net breaker. Gunn is now finding it easy as he hits a big time vertical suplex. Page is now in trouble. He finally has a chance to make the tag after crashing into Monty's nutsack, and he does manage to make the tag. Pac clears the ring and DDP hits the cutter on Monty Brown, but he can't celebrate for long because Gunn hits him with the Famouser. Slapnuts then appears in the ring and smashes Pac with the guitar. Don West screams that he's sick of seeing it. Yeah, me and you both, brother. Billy Gunn makes the cover and it's over. DDP is pretty annoyed about this and he beats Jarrett to the back. There's nothing to say, it's a D. Match 9, TNA Lockdown 2005, Lethal Lockdown match, Team Nash versus Team Jarrett. I'm so used to seeing these with 10 men, but it's only 6 in this one. Pac starts out the match for his team and Nash might be injured as usual, so there's a question mark over who's going to team with Pac and DDP tonight. So we start out the match with Pac and Jeff Jarrett, but nobody cares about them. We're only here for our guy. The next guy in is Billy Gunn, and now the guy after that is DDP, who comes out with a kendo stick to beat the two white shirt wankers up. Page launches Jarrett into the cage and he keeps using the cane. DDP stops caning for a moment and hits a big boot. He continues doing well as he hits a double clothesline. For some reason, Page tries to do another backslide for the pin and he just gets booted in the nutsack. He's literally tried that every match. You would have thought he would have learned by now not to do that move. Monty Brown now enters the ring with a baseball bat and it's not looking good for our guy. Pac looks ridiculous in that black jacket. He looks like he's just come from an Ed Sheeran concert. The clock ticks down and we don't really know who we're going to get on our team. It's the Road Dogg. He comes out of a trash can lid. Then there's a ref bump, because there always is. I've barely seen Page. Is he even still in this match? Monty takes out people with a trash can pounce. Oh, there he is, breaking up the pin. Jarrett goes for the stroke and DDP reverses it into the Diamond Cutter, but Billy Gunn breaks up the pin. Page and the Dog take turns hitting Monty Brown with a trash can, but then Monty reverses it by pouncing both of them at the same time. It looked awesome, but unfortunately he botches the following move and it takes the shine off of it. Pac then randomly scores a victory roll, and it's over. Just like that. All of the wrestlers are still standing and they're fine. They all continue fighting because the match wasn't very violent and they got lots of energy left. Certainly not the best TNA cage match I've ever seen, and not the best Page match either. It's a D. Before the next match, we get a backstage promo. Surprisingly, not that many DDP promos on this show tonight. DDP says that he's supposed to team with the Road Dogg, but he's not coming due to travel problems. He's flipping out and complaining. Instead, Ron the Truth Killings offers to team up with him. Match 10, Hard Justice 2005, final match, Monty Brown and Billy Gunn, aka Jeff Jarrett's Goon Squad, versus DDP and Ron the Truth Killings. I've just thought of an alternative title for this video. How about the downfall of Monty Brown? Diamond starts out with Monty Brown. By the way, I'm surprised these two never got a singles blow-off match. It doesn't really make sense, they seem to be feuding. The whole Jeff Jarrett thing completely overshadowed Monty, didn't it? DDP starts trying to breakdance to show unity with Killings. The crowd enjoyed it and so did I. The commentary team start talking about DDP's upcoming yoga book. Obviously this would become something that DDP will be best known for the next decade. DDP gets a 2 count on Brown, who seems a bit hesitant. Truth then gets the tag, but it doesn't go well for him and he gets isolated. The Diamond Man finally gets the tag and he's on fire. He hits a sit-out powerbomb on Brown, but the pin gets broken up. Page then kicks Monty out the ring. Suddenly, 2 obese wrestlers hit the ring, but Page has a diamond cutter for both of them. Unfortunately, he's forgot about Billy Gunn, who tries to go for that old move he did in 2001, but Page counters it with a perfectly placed kick, to quote Mike Tenay, right in front of the referee. Why is there a nutsack shot in every single TNA match and it's never DQ? Monty then nails him with the pounce and it's over. And so is DDP in TNA. The match is a D again, nothing really happened. It's pretty middle of the road stuff really, isn't it? So, only one really bad match, but also one really good match. The rest of them were C's or D's, so I'm going to give him a C. Or a D? Man, this is tough. I almost want to start a new category for him. Well, when I look at the list of the competitors so far, I feel bad for putting him in the D bracket. It isn't fair on Page. He was trying, the crowd liked him, it wasn't boring, and I could see potential for more there. Well then, welcome to the C zone, Dallas Page. Should it have been a D? Who knows, it was difficult to gauge.